Hey tubers, how are you? It's a new life, CJ Snapback. Just coming in for an update. Today is I believe the 6th, no, the 5th of February. And yesterday I had my 6-week post-op appointment with um, with my doctor, and I am at the same weight that I was when I went to see the doctor like 3 weeks ago. So we did a little troubleshooting and figured that I was getting in too many calories with the two protein shakes that I've been drinking a day, just trying to get in my protein for the day. And the lady that I saw told me about an app called Lose It, and I like it so much better than MyFitnessPal because it gives you the metrics for the day of your intake. You can set goals for your protein. I think some of the things you have to pay for, so whatever's free is useful to me. And I plugged in an actual day, my day yesterday, and realized that I was taking in way too many calories, way too much protein, and that might be the reason for the slowing down of the loss because I'm still working out, I'm still high cardio, and still taking in my half a cup of food. The snacking is seems to be rearing its head again, and especially around that time of the month. So I found these baby snacks by Gerber. They are little. They're called. Are they called crunchies? I forget what they're called, but they're little cheese. Look like Cheetos, and they have other puff snacks, and um, so it does the trick. It does the trick. So everything's going really well. I feel like I need to do something different, take it to another level. So I'm thinking about trying the Beachbody T25 to see what that'll do. With the goal of reshaping my figure. So, yeah, I'll probably will decide today whether or not I'll get it. I just want to do a little bit more research because I can't follow a particular food regimen because of my procedure. I want to make sure that I can get results and not just balance it out. So let's see what else. Yeah, I was talking to a friend, and please excuse if the video goes a little long, but I just wanted to share this. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I got to talking about my father and how last year was just a horrible year. And I realized that I hadn't stopped to address the fact that I really went through a major event last year. Not just my father's death, but just everything that led up to it. And I know that I have talked before about my father being ill, but he just started taking a decline that it was just progressive. And I realized that I actually went on that journey with him. I didn't feel everything that he went through, but I transitioned with him through every decline. And I was like completely zoned into him. So much so that it just cut off the rest of the world. It cut off, things that I should have been doing, things that I could have been doing. Uh, all of my energies went toward him. Uh, for example, um, I could detect uh, the decline. So, like when he got to the point where he couldn't walk anymore, I knew that that wasn't just a bad day. I knew that that was a switch and a change that was going to be permanent. And, for those who may have gone through this and, had to read up on the end stages of life, and who, had to watch their loved one go through each one of those steps, like one of the things that it talked about in stage of life is the change of breathing, how it would become really rapid, or he would develop apnea, and I would know the seconds of his breathing and the seconds that it stopped. And I was able to see the differences and to know this is a change that we're not going to rebound from. So I say all that to say, going through that with him was, I'm sure, very taxing to my body, to my mind. I'm sure that it had a profound effect on the fact that I was stuck last year. And because I was living through it, I just never really stopped to give it the attention that it deserved. That, hey, you are pretty much being run over by a freight train here. So, give yourself a break. Do I advocate that you just throw caution to the wind and do whatever you want to do during these life crisis, life-changing moments? No, I don't. But I do say stop, assess what is going on in your life, and give it some attention. Because sometimes when we're living through it, we forget that these are really huge things that we are dealing with, that are taking our energy, our time, that is zapping our emotions or blowing them up where they're all over the place. And once my dad was gone, and it's like everything, it felt like someone turned on the electricity, and then I felt a year's worth of pain and just sadness, and then on top of that, the loss, all at one time. And it hasn't even, let's see, it's only been 4 months since my dad's been gone. It'll be 5 months on the 15th. So it hasn't been an extremely long period of time. And I have to stop and pay attention to that, which I hadn't been, and say, hey, you're going through a whole lot here. This isn't just you got a flat tire, or you locked your keys in the car. This is a huge deal. And so during that period of time, I was going through my prerequisites for my procedure. And at one point, I felt like I'm not going to be able to do this because I just am not mentally here. But I'm so glad that I went through it and I proceeded. I'm so glad that I didn't stop and say, I'll just do it next year, once I've given myself time, because it did add to my skill sets of coping, and it did help me to learn again how to channel the pain and the sadness in a way that would benefit me. But the message is just pay attention to what you're dealing with. A friend stopped me, and she was like, "Oh, how are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm feeling okay." I said, "I feel like I can breathe." And she was like, "Carolyn, do you realize what you've just gone through?" She was like, if you can breathe now, you're doing really well, because you have just gone through an immense amount of pain and sorrow, and you've gone through something really huge, pay attention to that. So that's my message. Pay attention to what you're going through, and factor that into your behavior, how you're feeling, to your success, or to the slowing down of your success, because it does all matter, and it's all part of the journey. This journey is not just about weight loss, and it's not about just making your weight related goals. It's your life. Everything is surrounded and encompassed around you as a person. How you're feeling and what you're having to deal with, the stress, the anxiety, the tiredness. It's all together in a ball. That science thing, it when it compacts, it's like this, but then it retracts and it has all these offshoots. Well, that's what this journey is like. It compacted, yeah, it's all together, but then when you expand it, it's like all these offshoots of so many different things that you need to pay attention to and pretty much take an inventory of it. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to share, because this was really huge. This was life-changing. And I'm just so glad that I had the blessing of being able to channel into my dad and to be able to transition with him as he declined and eventually as he went to sleep in death. That was a blessing that I'm going to stop. I'm just thankful for that. So, thank you so much for watching and for just following my journey and staying in tune with the things that are going on in my life. And for those of you that reach out and let me know, hey, you motivated me, or you inspired me, or I'm so proud of you. Those things mean so much to me, and they motivate me and keep me in a place where I feel humbled, and I just feel like I owe it not only to myself, but I feel like I owe it to you as well to keep on going, keep fighting, make another video, whether it's good news or bad news, just show up. So stay tuned. The journey's not over. It's just another leg of the race. And so just stay tuned and let's see where we go next. So thanks again, and I'll see you soon.